Let's move on to our third case, and now I would like to invite Vytenis Pakenas, the CEO at IsLucid. Vytenis is also a mission-driven entrepreneur who learned that all business conversations should end up with actionable items. To help people understand each other better on conference calls with his Lucid team, he built a meeting assistant which turns voice to text to actionable items within already used tasks management software. Vytenis enjoys building things, so you might expect many Lego-related puns in his presentation on what is machine learning status with voice-first data inputs. With a round of your applause, the third case, AI as a service in natural language processing.
Hello. Happy to be here. Grateful for opportunity. And yes, I'm Vytenis. I do believe that all conversations should end up with actionable items. But how you may have conversation without having natural language processing. So my main topic for today is about machine learning as a service for natural language processing. But first, who I am to speak? Well, yeah, you can see in the background Legos. It's my passion. The same passion comes for my daily activities, daily life, when I'm connecting to different stuff. Different things, different building blocks which are existing. And with my last 3 startups, including the current one is Lucid, I was always touching machine learning. Real machine learning, not some fancy algorithms, but actual trainable information. And during my last 15 years in professional IT, it was always not only about technology, what you can use, but also about the business needs, how to address those, how to end up with something feasible, and targeting the main pain point you are having. And you know, technology itself, no matter how fancy it is, it's not solving anything. And for me, product which is addressing those pain points is the most important thing. To have the product, you need to think out of your personal beliefs and talk to the customers to see what kind of solutions are helping you. So yeah, I'm a geek behind the Lucid, but today I would like to share my natural passion about natural interactions. Quite often we are forgetting one thing, how we interact with the machines. We are not interacting in a natural way. If you would look at small toddlers, how we are trying to interact with a computer, with a mobile phone and so on, we try to use touch events and voice commands. However, software can interact under the set rules. When you're thinking, it's just logic, which we are trying to implement. Quite often, as developers, we are thinking from the perspective what is natural for us, because we already adjusted to the way how to present and create tasks. However, with the verbal language, well, it's way more complex than a simple then-if statement. And for natural language, it's a super important topic, because without getting this covered, well, you can't end up with just another solution, which is hard to use. What is Lucid? It's voice-to-text to actionable item software for your conference calls on Microsoft Teams environment with a focus on real-time interaction with AI assisted, so you end up with actionable items. It sounds potentially hard to understand, but when you look, it's really simple from the first glance. You're just getting a way how on your call have assistants on the right, how to get from transcription actionable items, how to get this transcription analyzed and stored in your task management software. Either it's Jira, Microsoft Planner, Project, or whatever. You just name it and it's there. However, our story takes some time, and we are always partnering with different solution providers. Some people know that IsLucid was started actually as a mobile application to create contracts. Back in the days, we were using Google speech-to-text service because we were focusing on what is creating the most value from speech-to-text in our use case, how to put those items into the contracts, and how, from a machine learning perspective, identify missing links to the contract, which could potentially create you a trouble. Think in a way, you're getting a carpenter who's doing a job for you, who's cleaning afterwards. If you're not defining, well, potentially you might end up with a reason, with a problem. And we developed a solution. With the partnership with the Google, we got a lot of soft solutions which helped out-of-the-box solutions which we could reuse and to focus on the main problem. And so COVID came. With COVID, we could take the blue pill and do the following development and waiting while we will be back to the normal, or take the red pill and think what is happening, what kind of opportunities we are getting. With Lucid, then we moved ahead from just a simple transcription and classification task to natural language understanding on conference calls, where again, we took part of the already existing software for language understanding, this time from the Microsoft, and we improved it a lot to identify potential tasks, to do the context analysis, to find out what is just thinking out loud, where's a potential task. So again, you could focus on real time on conversation. Where we are heading is on natural language generation, which is a bit closer to AI, which I still doubt is not AI yet, about how to help this connection between how we interact verbally and how we are putting stuff on the written task management. Because when you think, there are a lot of words which are not needed, there are a lot of ways how to improve your ideas expressed verbally, how to get additional context already existing in project management software, so you end up with effective meetings. Again, my approach, which is implemented with this Lucid, is about how not to try to reinvent the wheel, this time considering speech-to-text service, but instead to focus on the value-added services. And it's never-ending story, because iteration after iteration, developers will fully understand me, you're moving ahead, improving the product, but you need to still to think, what is your core focus? So what's next? I am offering you a red pill to always consider. Consider additional things when you're choosing your platform as a service provider for some potential tasks to deliver. If you can trust initial exam. Can you trust your data to somebody? Because it's a really expensive and valuable asset. Do the founders are advocating that we are not touching your data without your permission? That we are not going to be evil, as one company was stating that we will be not evil, and now we removed it from the slogans. And can you really trust them? When you're trusting your solution provider and you can feel that we are a good partners for you, the next my advice would be, do the risk assessment, and based on that, do the risk management. It's a question of time when somebody will lose your data. It's not what if, it's more a question when. And you need to do an assessment if you can trust this data. For us to deliver this kind of value, we are not only using only certified services by Microsoft. We are not only going through certification process with penetration testing done by Microsoft, but in addition to that, we are actually not holding unencrypted data from our customers. Customers providing us an encryption key, we are storing it, not the key, but the data based on this key, and we cannot do anything from that. And based on that, you can also do an assessment if this data is actually yours. From our experience with Google, for example, you can pay to the Google for additional fee, so your data wouldn't be used for training sets. Some companies are not providing you this kind of offering, and yeah, you need to end up with actual understanding what is the actual price you will be paying for using third-party provider. You can get off-the-shelf machine learning as a service with a lot of different solutions available in the market, and save your time with the focus on the core value you want to create. Like in our case, value of having actionable items after the meetings. You can take some not fully polished, but cheaper solutions and invest a lot of your own money, which potentially might be cheaper, might be more expensive, into development of the product, developing the business case and so on, and moving ahead with your solution. But at the end of the day, it really makes sense to think about, with so many solutions available in the market, do you need to reinvent the wheel? Do you need to make a revolution? Or you can evolve, make an evolution step by step, and potentially focus on the core value which you can create for your customers. So, yes, I do believe that all conversations should end up with actionable items. And that being said, I'm asking you to come and speak to me. You're seeing my contacts here. You can directly approach me and share your position on ethics on AI, ethics on data privacy, how you can develop the solutions, or potentially just chit-chat about potential job opportunities. Thank you.